Good morning. We're back on trail out of the Whiskey Hollow shelter. The weather forecast for today is the same as it was last night. So we just got the scattered thunderstorms starting at like noon, lasting for the rest of the day pretty much. So there's a chance, there's a good chance it looks like we're going to get rained on pretty good. And that's going to be right about the time when we're in the roller coaster. Just really steep ups and downs. And yeah, yesterday was not good, just with how hot and humid it was with trying to hike, so I think it was a good decision to stop early. Today is only going to be a high of like 72 supposedly, but it already feels hotter than that. Anyway, I think water sources in the roller coaster look good because every time it goes down one of the steep ups and downs, then there's a stream crossing in the down valley. So there should be lots of water in there. There's not much water between here and the shelter I was aiming for last night, Rod Hollow, I think, which is like 8+ miles away from here. So that's going to be our first rest break. I'm just going to try to push as quick as I can to get there. Then we got to get through the roller coaster, and then maybe aiming for, there's a hostel somewhere in there. Anyway, I'm going to get moving for today. I just push it nice and quick. Today should definitely be a better day than it was yesterday, until we get to the roller coaster. That'll be fun. Man, this whole area is just extremely overgrown. Just feels like some kind of tropical rainforest vibe or something going on. And you can tell they've like freshly weed whacked and stuff, cleared out a lot of areas, but it's still just massively overgrown. Now entering the Meadows State Park. I think this is just a short section. I like this state park because they got really good informational signs. This is more like it. Rod Hollow Shelter, that's going to be the first break, 6.6, and then Harper's Ferry, 32.8 miles. And it's raining. This could be a tricky crossing because it's just constantly cars. I got to be quick about getting across here. That was a dangerous crossing. There really needs to be a bridge right there. That was, yeah, that was just dangerous. So if yesterday was like 100% humidity, then today is 200% humidity. It's just ridiculous out here right now. Everything is wet, soaking wet. It's like you're swimming through it. At least it's not super hot. It feels like it's, I don't know, 75 degrees or something. A couple more miles and we'll be at the Rod Hollow shelter. We'll take a break there. Made it to Rod Hollow shelter. Definitely taking a break here. First break of the day. Alright, we're back on trail. That was just a quick 5-minute stop. There were a ton of people there. There was at least 8 people at the shelter, and they were all just kind of looked like they were very slowly getting up to start their day, and it's past 10 o'clock. And I'm like, dude, I've done like 8.5 miles already. So, I don't know, it just seems like some people here are not taking this trail seriously. Anyway, yeah, I couldn't stay there. Let's just say I had to move out pretty quick. But we got the roller coaster starting in like half a mile. so that'll be super fun. I don't know how far into it is until the hostel, but anyway, we'll push through the roller coaster. We'll have fun with that. Lots of ups and downs. Spotty's feeling good. It hasn't started raining yet, but it's still in the forecast. We'll see what the roller coaster looks like. Alright, now entering the roller coaster. So tough they give you a warning sign for it. Here comes the fun part. This is how it's starting out. Just steep. Rocky, but it's not too bad. It's very rocky, but so far I'm handling it okay. The only thing that really sucks about all this is that it's 100% humidity. I'm just totally drenched in sweat. But the roller coaster itself is not that bad compared to everything else we've gone through to get here. So far, it's not that bad. Okay, well, the first up and down is complete, and that was not that bad. So, in comparison to like other steep climbs and stuff that we've had to do, the day we went into the Devil's Backbone Brewery, we had to do up and over 3 ridges. 3 ridges was literally hell on earth. That was the toughest climb I've ever done, one of the toughest in my life. And this, in comparison to that, this is way easier. This is just some ups and downs. Yeah, it's a little rocky, but from a guy who hates rocks, it's not that bad. So maybe some of the other ups and downs will be worse. It is over 13 miles of these ups and downs, so maybe that will wear on you throughout the day, I'm sure, but so far, it's not that bad. I found a live cicada. Been wanting to get one of these guys on film. They look small compared to other cicadas of the world. I think he's alive. Yeah, he's just... Usually they hang out in the trees. Almost done with the second hill climb. So far, still not bad in comparison to everything else we've done. And I think the next couple of miles, the hill climbs don't look as bad as the first couple that we just did. Shorter ups and downs. Let's just take a look at that number for a second. Holy crap. I've hiked 1,000 miles. I'm getting a little choked up right now. Let's just think about that for a second. 1,000 miles. Over all the hills, across all the streams. Slept at all the shelters, tenting, hostel stays, people I've met. 1,000 miles. I think I'm like a half a mile to the next shelter, and there's definitely storms coming. You can hear the thunder on the horizon. You kind of feel it in the air. At least it held off this long. We'll get to the shelter, take a rest break. There's the Den Hostel, I think is what it's called, is like a further 3 miles or so from the hostel. And we may just stay there tonight and just ride out whatever weather. And then the next day would be like a 20-something mile day, I think, to get to Harper's Ferry. So that's doable. But that might be the current game plan. Try to race to the hostel before most of the weather hits. But I think we're going to get rained on one way or the other. Okay, we made it to the next shelter, the Sam Moore shelter. We're going to go take a break here. And I think this puts us at least over halfway through the roller coaster. But overall, my impression is it's not that bad. I think stuff in Georgia was worse. So I feel like if you're a day hiker coming out here, it's going to be brutal. If you're a through hiker who's already done 1,000 miles, it's not that bad. You've seen worse. This is similar to what the last one looked like. I couldn't film it because there was like 20 people there. But it had the covered picnic table and kind of a basic thing like this. I like the windows. I like when they put the windows in the shelters. It makes it not as dark. So I've got a little cell service and I was able to check some weather forecasts, and luckily it looks like everything is just going to go around us. I definitely heard a storm in the distance, but it stayed further away and moved off. Weather forecasts for the next hour or two show that there's just some light scattered stuff, but it's all going to be around us, so I don't even think we're going to get rained on then. From here it's 3 miles to the hostel, Bear's Den, and they've got a main lodge where you can check in, but it doesn't open until 5, and it's currently like 2:30. So I'm definitely going to get there in like, I don't know, hour and a half or so. Some of the comments on gut hooks say that if you show up and the lodge is closed and you can't check in yet, just go around to the back of the building. There's a hiker entrance and you can hang out in like the hiker lounge area, and there was a door code, and the door code was posted in gut hooks. So in theory, I can get into the building and just hang out. They've got snacks and stuff in there, and then I can just lounge around for an hour or two or whatever until the lodge opens, and then I can check in and try to get a bunk. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is just head to there and stay there tonight. And that makes tomorrow, once I'm out of the roller coaster, which is only a couple miles past the hostel, then the terrain looks like it's going to be pretty flat and smooth all the way to Harper's Ferry. So I'm going to try to do a 21-mile day tomorrow, and like 18 miles of that should be pretty easy. So I think that's the current game plan. I'm going to finish up my snacks, and then we'll bust out the last little some up and downs, more roller coaster, and then we'll be at the hostel. It's not the ups and the downs of the roller coaster so much, it's the rocks. How is Pennsylvania worse than this? I keep hearing about the Pennsylvania rocks. Well, Virginia is 550 miles of this. I'm over-exaggerating, but just a little bit. Okay, here's the split off. Bear's Den. This should be where the hostel is. Oh man, it's always the last hill climb seems the steepest. That was kind of rough. Now it's just a little bit down here, I think. So here's the lodge. It doesn't open for another hour. So in theory, I go around back, and there's a secret door code. I'm gonna see what's listed on the front. Don't let the dog out. No pets. Yeah, let me see what this sign says. No public restrooms. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go around back and try the secret code. Okay, it's a little after 5 o'clock now, so they opened up the lodge. I'm all checked in and good to go. It was $25 will get you the stay in the bunk room with the shower, or you could do like the hiker special they call it, and that's $35, and you'll get pizza and ice cream. I'm gonna do dinner and stuff down at the brewery, which is like half a mile from here, so I skipped out on the dinner option and just went for the cheaper route. And apparently they said if you tell the brewery that you're from the Den Hostel, then you get like a 10% discount, so we'll see if that works. Overall, looks like they got a really good setup there. Apparently the place is like owned and operated by the Appalachian Trail Conservancy itself. So that's kind of cool. Old historic building. I don't know the full history of it, but you know, they own the building and a bunch of the grounds around it and stuff. Whew. But yeah, dinner is the next option. I think this is a good way to do this. I would have missed this place entirely. Some other hikers were talking about their hostel being here, and because we made it a short day yesterday because I almost had heat stroke and all that 9 yards, so doing this option is it's gonna work out okay, I guess. Here's the brewery, Bear Chase. You know how bad that is. Okay, I'm done with dinner. I am back at the hostel, and it was really cool. So a surprise I haven't mentioned yet is that I'm going to be meeting my sister and her 2 kids, and then some other cousins and family and stuff once I get to Harper's Ferry. We're going to get into DC and then spend the 4th of July in DC. Anyway, my sister was on her way up to Harper's Ferry, and this was kind of on the way, so I gave her a call while I was out at dinner, and they were already en route, so I was like, yeah, if you guys can stop in for dinner, that'd be really cool. So my sister stopped in, got to chat with her for a little bit. She's continuing on to Harper's Ferry today, and then I'm going to hike out of here the 20 plus whatever miles, and then just meet her again once I get into Harper's Ferry. So that's kind of cool. We got to say hi for at least a little bit while she's on her little road trip out on the East Coast. But yeah, dinner was good. I just had a burger and beer there, and it started raining pretty good. It's going to rain like all night, I think, and then the forecast is supposed to stop right around sunrise when I'm getting ready to get back on trail anyway, so I think that'll be good. But yeah, it's just going to rain all night, I think. This place is pretty cool, and they got a nice setup here. I'm going to go ahead and just sign off here for tonight, and we'll catch back up in the morning. And we'll see you guys when we hit the trail tomorrow for the final day to Harper's Ferry. Good morning. We're up and heading back to the trail nice and early. It's a little after 6:30, I think, and that was a good night's stay at the Den Hostel. This is a pretty cool place, pretty neat building. Apparently the building itself was built in the 30s as kind of like a European castle design, so it's got a cool like brick construction and stuff to it. But today is going to be like a final push to Harper's Ferry. It's a little over 20 miles. We've got a few miles left of the roller coaster, so we'll get up and over that. I think the rain is stopping and should be just kind of cloudy and then clearing up the rest of the day. But it's like super foggy and a lot of stuff dripping from the leaves right now. And my sister, who I hung out with dinner last night, that was cool that she came out. She's up in Harper's Ferry right now, so she'll meet me there. We'll spend the night in Harper's Ferry and then move on to visit other cousins and relatives and spend the 4th of July in Washington, D.C. and all that good stuff. So that's what's coming up a little bit later. And cool, yeah, I think that's it. For now, we'll just get back on trail and finish up the roller coaster. just got done crossing that interstate behind me. Super dangerous. They definitely need to build a footbridge over these highways already. They're just playing Frogger in the early morning traffic. That was kind of crazy. Anyway, let's get back in the woods. Well, so far this morning I've only gone 3 miles, but it's taken over 2 hours. These last couple of miles of the roller coaster have been the most difficult so far. It's just the slowest. I think it's the most, it's just more technical. I'm staring at a bird, I think. Doing something. Anyway. The steepness doesn't seem that much more steeper or not from what we've already done, but it's just way more technical, more rocks and stuff, so it slows you way down. Anyway. We still got like a mile or so of the roller coaster. It's probably still going to be slow going. There's the state border. Crossing into West Virginia. This is where it, the trail is right on the border, similar to when we were in the Smokies. The trail bordered Tennessee and North Carolina for a long ways. It's going to do that here, all the way to like Harper's Ferry. So the next 15, 17 miles or whatever, we'll be in and out of Virginia and West Virginia. And then the final time we'll be in Virginia is going to be right before Harper's Ferry. Here's the Raven Rocks Overlook. Neat rocks at least. Just a little fogged in this morning. And we're at a point where there is a spring just down here. We're almost out of the roller coaster. I think we just got a little bit more uphill and then we're done. And this is the last water until we get to the next shelter, which is like 7.5 miles away. So a little bit of a water carry. We're almost done with the roller coaster. I think we're officially out of the roller coaster now, but I haven't seen a sign yet on this north end. Maybe I just missed it. But anyway, the terrain profile looks pretty smooth from here on out. When we get to the next shelter, we'll take a break there. Well, the ups and downs are pretty much gone, but the trail is just rocky enough where I can't move quickly. It's just frustrating. Because I want to like the terrain profile is flat. So it's like, oh, I can just go 4 miles an hour. Nope. I'm stumbling and tripping on rocks all day. I know you probably won't believe me, but to me, this is way more difficult than the roller coaster. This has absolutely destroyed my feet already. This is the most difficult stuff to walk on. And my feet are in severe pain right now. And on a side note, I will be looking for a whole new type of shoe when I get to Harper's Ferry. I'm done with these trail runners for this very reason. I'm just gonna keep complaining about this, but it just keeps getting worse. These rocks, man, there's no way Pennsylvania is worse than this. I'm gonna have to see it to believe it. It's always deceptive how like the terrain profile is like, oh, it's flat for 20 miles into Harper's Ferry. Yeah, not gonna happen with these rocks. There's a split off for the David Lesser shelter. It's our one and only shelter for the day. Definitely taking a break here. I gotta massage my feet back to somewhat of a normal feeling. Here's what the shelter looks like. It's got a nice deck on it. It's got windows, that's always a plus. Nice high ceiling. It's another one of those where it's like they could have made it a double-decker. I mean, you still could build it up there. It's like it's simple, but it's very nice. It's even got a little swing over and a little covered pavilion over on that side. And the water source apparently is a 1/4 mile down a really steep hill, and it's a pain in the butt to get up to. But I think we're good on water. We'll try to keep what we got as far as water for the next, I think I'll have to double check the distance. It might be like 3 miles till we get to, there's a road crossing and a gas station quickie mart we can get to that serves hot food. You can get like burger and fries and sodas and stuff. So I think I'm going to try to get there and do a late lunch at the gas station. Okay, we're done with our rest break at the shelter. Feeling better. I called my sister because I had cell service, and there's another opportunity for us to meet up where 3 miles from now the trail crosses a road, and if you take a right for 0.3 miles you get to a little gas station quickie mart place, and they serve hot food. You can get like burgers and fries and stuff. So I called her up. I was like, hey, if you're not doing anything, come meet me when I get here. So that'd be cool if we can hang out again for a little bit before I finish the last couple of miles and get into Harper's Ferry just to see her again. Here's where the trail splits out to a road crossing. I'm going to take a right and go down to the gas station quickie mart. As you can see, we're right on the border. Welcome to West Virginia, that way. Welcome to Virginia, that way. So we're going to Virginia. There's the gas station. Okay, so my sister just met me and picked me up from the gas station, and we were figuring it'd be an easier idea to get into Harper's Ferry now, and we can get to the ATC headquarters before they close. I can get the photograph taken and stuff right now, and get my bag tag and all that good stuff knocked out. And then we'll get lunch, and then she'll be able to drop me off back to the trail, and then I can hike back in. The last 5 miles or so I think is all we have to do today. Something like that. So we'll get all that stuff knocked out real quick here. Alright, we just got done registering at the Conservancy real quick. So here's all my picture and information, so it's all official now. Start date 20 April 2021. Today is the 2nd of July. I'm the 887th hiker to come through and register at a halfway point. When I first started, I think I was number 1,998, I think was my starting number. Here's the big relief map inside the Conservancy. It's so cool to see the trail this way. See where we started down in Georgia. All the high points we've already hit. The Shenandoahs. There's Harper's Ferry. And then everything we still got to do. It's just a really neat way to see the whole trail. All the way up to the top. Alright, so here's a quick update. A lot of things have changed. So after my sister picked me up, we went into Harper's Ferry. We were trying to figure out timing-wise to get into the Appalachian Trail Conservancy. Hiking in, I probably would have got there after they had closed. They closed at 5 o'clock. So my sister just run me into town real quick. We did all the stuff at the Conservancy, as you saw. Got my picture taken, got an official bag tag, got all this stuff taken care of. And then we were doing some extra running around, and I figured we've already done 15 miles for the day, so that's going to be good enough. And we'll just call it a day here, and I'll go ahead and start my 00, pretty much starting today, I guess. And I'll just catch up back on trail where I got off after the 4th of July weekend that's coming up. So that's where I'm currently at. Out with my sister and the boys. We're currently in a hotel room, and I just got a quick shower. Got lunch/dinner taken care of, doing laundry. We'll go out and get dinner number 2 here shortly. And then, let's see, the rest of the stuff is going to be just hanging out in the DC area, meeting other cousins and all that stuff. That stuff will be happening over the next couple of days. But as far as today goes, that's pretty much it. We did a good push for getting towards Harper's Ferry, but yeah, I feel that 15 miles and stuff will be good enough. If I go back out, it'll take at least 2+ hours to finish up what we did, but I'll just catch that back up later when I get back in the woods. I think that's all the latest for now. I'm just going to work on editing videos, getting caught up on uploading everything. So that's all I'm going to be working on for the rest of tonight. I'll catch you back up if anything else cool happens. Otherwise, that's all for now. Alright, it's time for dinner. Me and my sister are going out to a Japanese steakhouse place that's right around the corner. And we'll get some good food there. I'll get a shot of whatever I get. And then I'll check back later. There we go, Japanese steakhouse for dinner. And to top it off, some ice cream dessert. Alright, we're back from eating and everything. I think I'm going to go ahead and close out here. Tomorrow's going to be, tomorrow's episode is just going to be 00, so it's going to be another episode with no hiking involved. But we're going to have a lot of fun activities, do a lot of planning, I got to do a lot of shopping, and then we'll spend the 4th of July in the DC area, so that'll be kind of cool. So tune in if you want to watch that kind of stuff. Otherwise, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll just see you guys in the next one.